Consequences for a viral interaction involving a Chico Target store worker. We now know the job impact for the healthcare worker behind the video.
And we share Cal Water's plan to making Chico's drinking water safer by filtering out more forever chemicals.
And unrest in Nigeria cancels an important medical aid trip for local nursing students. We'll share what's behind the decision.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Police are investigating the death of a 1-month-old baby at the Super 8 motel in Red Bluff.
Lieutenant Michael Brown tells us that shortly after 10:30 this morning, officers with the Red Bluff Police Department were called to the report of a baby not breathing at the motel, which is on Gilmore Road. Despite life-saving efforts, the baby died after being taken to St. Elizabeth's Hospital, a baby boy. Lieutenant Brown said that the cause of the death is pending an autopsy and that no further details will be released at this point because it's an active investigation. The infant's name and who was with the child at the time, that information is not being released.
The Shasta County District Attorney says an Olivehurst man will be sentenced to 40 years to life in prison after he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a child under the age of 10. Thomas Moser was arrested on 6 felony counts in May. DA Stephanie Bridget says, quote, "While there is no way to undo the trauma that he inflicted on the victim in this case, we hope the resolution provides some amount of closure to everyone impacted by his crimes." Moser will be sentenced March 4th.
The 2 Humboldt County men convicted of killing 2 people in the Cherokee area of Butte County will spend the rest of their lives in prison without the possibility of parole. Samuel Ashley and Wesley Evans traveled with Juan Ariola Solano and Ezequiel Ariano Jr. from Humboldt County to Butte County to complete a gun deal. The DA says the men argued over the deal and Ashley and Evans shot the 2 victims, then set their car on fire. We have new developments about a local story that took the national spotlight last month.
Yeah, the woman who shared a video of herself yelling at a Chico Target worker for wearing a Charlie Kirk Freedom shirt says she was in fact fired. Michaela Ponce took to GoFundMe to announce that she was fired from her job as a healthcare worker for expressing her personal views outside of work and on her own time, asking for help covering basic needs for her children. She posted that this is something protected under the First Amendment. Now, to clarify, the First Amendment does restrict government action, but not private entities when it comes to free speech. Private employers can set rules about off-duty conduct and speech. Now, I reached out to Enloe Health. A spokesperson told me they are not allowed to comment on personnel issues. I also spoke to Ponce today, but she did not want to make any further statement about this at this time. Now look at this video taken from earlier today in Chico, near the high school, Chico High School. The sun was shining bright, plenty of cars out and about on the Esplanade.
I bet it was really cold when you walked out your door this morning, though.
Yeah, I took the dogs for a walk under the beautiful stars and a half moon, and about 1.5 miles away, I was wishing I was already home because it was so cold.
Yeah. Look at Haley now. She's sun's out, guns out. Look at that.
Well, it's warm in the studio.
It is nice out here. And I thought it was a little nicer today in the afternoon because winds, for the most part, were on the lighter side. Here's our visibility. Why am I showing this? Well, the little bit of cloud cover and the winds we had, we didn't really have a fog problem overnight. A little bit of frost, but hint, hint, we'll talk about that over the next half hour. Let's look at our wind speeds. Okay, and it's lighter for the most part, but with temperatures the way they were, a few breezy spots, a little chilly. I thought overall nicer than yesterday. Here's those wind gusts. Again, this is nothing like a couple days ago, but most of these stronger winds are out there west of I-5. Other places, really winds on that lighter side. Here's those temperatures. I thought, again, really nice today, unless you're out really early or in the morning. With the sunshine today, pretty nice, and we are expecting even warmer temperatures. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie.
Well, Cal Water is working to meet new standards for PFAS, those forever chemicals which are found in our drinking water. Now, this week, Cal Water crews began upgrading water infrastructure in central parts of the city, installing new treatment systems designed to remove PFAS before the water reaches the tap. The EPA has tightened the rules, requiring water systems nationwide to start testing for these cancer-causing chemicals by 2027 and by 2029 with much stricter limits.
Yeah, so these PFAS compounds that we're installing treatment for, we've been aware of them since about 2013. However, there hasn't been a regulatory standard for this until April of 2025. It was put in place by the federal government. They're part of a lot of everyday products, anything kind of water resistant, Teflon type materials.
Work started this week to install more than 3,000 feet of new water mains in the area of Chestnut and Hazel Streets between West 9th and West 12th Streets. Later this month, Caltrans will start using granular activated carbon treatment equipment at existing well sites.
After a long-delayed reopening, the Reading Library is about to open its doors to the public again. Now, it closed in August of last year for a recarpeting project. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield shows us the progress being made.
After closing last summer for carpet upgrades, the Reading Library has hit a few snags in the process that have delayed its opening for a few months.
We do have a few roof leaks here that we had to address, especially during the heavy rains.
But now, with finishing touches underway, the Reading Library is just weeks away from reopening.
You're going to run into unanticipated issues, and we have to be able to absorb these changes and make sure that we're able to roll with that.
While the library's community room has been open for some time while the rest of the space gets a facelift, people like Elaine Bell think the new look facility will be well worth the wait.
I think it's going to have a welcoming atmosphere that will entice a lot more people to use and utilize the wonderful facility they're creating.
The Reading Library is set to reopen its doors in early February to the public, with its first event scheduled on Saturday, February 21st. Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Now, this carpet project cost $800,000, give or take, to install, with the money coming from a state library grant.
We have new details about Caltrans' plans to prevent future flooding and those ensuing closures of Highway 99 in the North Chico area. With the newly announced project in the planning phase, a District 3 spokesperson says you can expect to see crews elevating portions of the highway, then resurfacing it, plus digging and installing new culverts, which would include drainage system upgrades, and regrading ditches and drainage areas. We told you yesterday that Caltrans scrapped an older plan due to new floodplain mapping. Construction on this project could begin in about 4 years.
Happening now, local nonprofit Swing for Caesar is making Law Enforcement Appreciation Day with a special event at Farmers Brewing Company in Chico. And Action News Now reporter Emilio Del Carpio joins us live from there. Emilio, this is for both current and retired law enforcement officers and dispatchers.
You're exactly right, Alan. It's for everybody in law enforcement. I am here at Factory Brewing Company in Chico that, alongside Swing for Caesar, put on today's event. Law enforcement officers from all different types of agencies were present. They were getting drinks, and they got the chance to talk about their mental health, which is the reason why today's event got put together. Earlier today, I spoke with Brian Rodrigo, who is the organizer of Swing for Caesar and also a law enforcement officer of 26 years. I asked him how he deals with mental health and with trauma, and I asked him about Cesar Sandoval, who was the police officer for why this Swing for Caesar organization was founded. Now, if you're in the area, there's a lot of people out, there's a lot of drinks. The event is going on up until 8 p.m. So a very good chance to connect with the law enforcement community and to raise awareness. Live in Chico, Emilio Del Carpio, Action News Now.
Very good. Thank you, Emilio. For more information about Swing for Caesar or upcoming events, find the link on actionnewsnow.com under news links.
We have new details about Enloe Health's plan to bring on LifePoint Rehabilitation to manage inpatient rehab services. A representative for Enloe Health confirmed that there will be no layoffs with this partnership. We told you yesterday that several staff members let us know about an email that was sent out saying that the new partnership meant some management positions would be replaced before March. Well, that will not happen. We do know that LifePoint will provide management and operating services at Enloe Health Rehab Center.
New tonight, the Salvation Army is closing a homeless shelter in Marysville, citing the rising cost of repairs and a limited amount of funding. The Depot Family Crisis Center is 35 years old, but the Salvation Army says it has operated for many years at a financial deficit. Its debt exceeds $1 million, in fact, and still needs significant repair work. The depot was established to provide transitional shelter and case management for families experiencing homelessness in the Uber-Sutter area. The nearest similar facility operated by the Salvation Army is in Chico. The Marysville Salvation Army says it will continue to provide other services, but that the Family Crisis Center is closing down permanently as of January 31st. New at 6, with the sun out and blue skies overhead, you might want to hit the park before you head out. The city of Chico says upper park trails south and north side are currently closed. Chico Police Department is encouraging that you only walk the trails while they are still wet.
While we let these trails dry out from all of our rain that we got, please stay off of them with your bikes and your horses. We want to keep those trails pristine and limit the erosion.
If you want to check out the trails which are open and to what extent, find out what that is, go to our website and click on news links. Caring for a landmark oak tree will show you what's happening with a heritage tree at Whiskeytown National Recreation Area.
And construction at Enloe's new comprehensive cancer center is on track. We're going to show you the progress when we come back.